Hello, this is going to be the week 3 update. This video is general comments, things that I've had a couple people ask me about, things that just generally need to be clarified that I think will help make the class flow a little bit better for you guys. We're going to start off with clarifying the companies. Several of you have asked about this, and so I think this is something that I need to address in a little bit more depth. You are going to have 2 companies that you consistently work with throughout the semester. First, you're going to have attendance companies. These are the companies that you'll be posting about every week. You're going to have the same company every week. So this is why in the first week, you had to go in and post which company you wanted to work on, because that's the company that you're going to be consistently posting about each week. Most of you have gotten the idea and are working with a company that you selected. But to clarify, is a handful of people are posting on different companies for week 2 and week 3, and you won't get credit for doing a different company. It has to be the same company. Part of why I was a stickler about the publicly traded U.S. companies and parent companies is because as you move through this process, you're going to need to be able to find certain information like 10Ks and so on. And if it's not a publicly traded company, you may have difficulty finding this information. And the goal was not to create an assignment that was excessively challenging, but rather to give you a hands-on experience in the process of investigating a company and learning about a company. The second company that will be consistent throughout the semester for you is the company that you're doing your final project on. All of you have been assigned a company at this point. If you go into the My Grade section of Blackboard, the company for your team is listed, so you can always find that information there. The other place that you can find that information on Blackboard is in the project section of Blackboard. It's listed in an Excel file that has a list of all the students, what your team number is, who's on your team, and what the companies are. If you have any questions about the information, as always, you can email me. The final group of companies that I think has caused the most confusion is the other. During your discussion and activities, you're free to pick companies that will meet the needs of that discussion or activity. You're not tied to this company, you're not committed to this company. It's just a company that you like or that you enjoy and that enables you to complete the assignment. So week 2, we had an assignment that basically looked at global commercials. So you just needed to pick a company that you liked that had commercials for markets in addition to the US. The big thing here is that these companies can change, and it changes at your discretion. If you want to use the same company every week for your activity and discussion, that's up to you. But you're not required to use the same company for the activity and discussion. You just need a company that will allow you to complete the assignment. Whereas in the project and attendance, it must be the same company every single time. Next, I would like to talk about the Writing Center. I posted an announcement on Blackboard letting you know that there are up to 5 points of extra credit for going to the Writing Center. If you go to the Writing Center for Part 1, then that'll be worth 1 point. If you go to the Writing Center for Part 2, that'll be worth another point. And if you go to the Writing Center for all 4 parts of your final project, then that will give you 5 points. I'll give you an additional bonus point for having done it for all 4 pieces. One thing I want to show you guys is the website, just so you will see and know what it looks like. This is what the UNT Writing Lab looks like. So it's all free tutoring. One of the things I wanted to point out, though, since you guys are in an online class, is that they have both in-person tutoring and online tutoring. And so you can see the undergraduate tutoring, graduate tutoring, and then online tutoring. Any of those will work. The key thing is when you get tutoring from them, you will need to get a proof of tutoring slip. Without this slip, you will not be awarded the extra credit point. One of the things that's going to be important is make sure that when you talk to your tutor, that you ask them to note whether or not it was 90% complete or better, or approximately 90% complete or better. I want to make sure that if you're going to the Writing Center, you're taking a complete or nearly complete assignment in, that you're not taking one paragraph in and then having them read that, because that defeats the whole point of going to the Writing Center. So just ask them, and they should be able to note on your proof of tutoring slip whether it was 90% complete or not, or at least 90% complete. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to email me and I'll be happy to answer that question. One thing I think may be pertinent for you guys is not everyone in the team has to be there at that meeting. At least one person from the team has to go, but everyone in the team will get the point for whoever went to the tutoring center to get the assignment assessed and looked at and improved. Next are the weekly assignments. One of the things that I want to point out here is that you guys have a weekly assignment for attendance, for discussion posts, and activity every week from now until the end of the semester. So the attendance is basically you're going in and you're looking at this file. This details the rules and regulations of making sure that you get your attendance grade. There's no reason to lose points because this is all set up to be very easy to do. There's a 3-sentence max to make sure that you find exactly the information that I'm asking for, and that's all you provide. I don't need extensive elaborations on additional information. Week 1 was select your company. Is it public or private? What year was the company founded? And where is the company's headquarters? You should be able to find all of this information at a max of about 15 minutes. So it really is meant to be kind of a quick check-in and give you a chance to learn about a company that you like. You can go in and within about an hour or so collect all of this information. You just have to hold on to it and post it the week that it's due. If you post it early, you won't get credit. If you post it late, you won't get credit. The point is to make sure that you're logging in at least once a week, and you should be logging in more than that, but at least once a week to check on what's going on in the classroom. Next is your discussion post. There have been a couple of questions about what you're supposed to be doing with a discussion post. One is that it's a chance to engage with your peers. Because this is an online class, you never get the chance to have face-to-face engagement. You don't get the chance to have the same type of discussion that you would in a face-to-face class. So you're not required to reply to any questions from the other students, but it gives you a better opportunity to understand what other people are thinking about, what examples people are coming up with to ask questions. You'll get a lot more out of this class if you interact with people, and it's just kind of nice to answer questions that are asked of you, but it's not required. So if you want to learn more and engage more, that's what the discussion posts are for. My questions are meant to help. If I've posted a question or a comment as a response to something that you've posted, as a general rule of thumb, that means that there's something that you could clarify, some way that you could improve your comment or your post to make sure that you get the maximum amount of points. So I'm not trying to embarrass anyone. I'm just trying to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to go back in. So the sooner you post your comments or whatever information needs to be posted, the more likely I am to be able to see what you've done and give you feedback. And that feedback, as a general rule of thumb, will help you to make sure that you're getting the maximum amount of points. I've seen a lot of students who have ignored my feedback, and that's fine. That's your decision. Other students have taken it and have managed to make sure that they're getting 100% on everything. So the choice is yours, whether you would like to respond to my feedback or ignore it. But as a general rule of thumb, if I'm going in there, it's to help. Next is the activity. These are 2 separate things, but they're graded as 1. So the discussion post will be 1 point out of the 5 points for that week, and then the activity will be 4 points out of the 5 points for that week. And the activity is designed as a chance for you to learn from the textbook before you take the quiz. And if you can do the activity well, you should then do well on the quiz. The next thing that I would like to point out is the quiz. The quizzes are available from Friday at 12:01 a.m. until Sunday, 11:59 p.m. And if you look in the syllabus, there are details about the number of questions, the timing of questions, the content of those quizzes. But I want to be very clear that there is a short window to take those quizzes. So make sure that you check in every week between that time and you take your quiz. The other thing that I want to briefly mention is that Blackboard has a small window, usually from 11 p.m. Saturday to 2 a.m. Sunday, where it gets knocked out. So if you're taking a quiz or you're doing stuff online, I'd be very careful to avoid that time on Blackboard because you may get locked out. It may kick you out. Something may happen. And I do not reset quizzes for any reason. If you missed a quiz, you missed a quiz. If it ate one of your quizzes because you were taking it at midnight on Sunday during their scheduled maintenance, that's how that rolls. You've got plenty of time to take the quiz and use both attempts to maximize your grade for this class. The last thing I want to talk about as far as the general comments are the final project. The final project, each part will be due approximately every month. So it's roughly about 4 months, so every 4 weeks you'll have 1 part due. One person will submit it for the group, but the feedback will go to everyone so that way everyone can see where did you guys do a good job, where are the parts where you guys have more opportunities for improvement, and just general comments about what needs to be done so that way as you go through the semester you can continue improving upon it to get the maximum number of points when you submit the final project. If you have any questions about that, Again, please feel free to reach out to me. Let me know. If you're having trouble getting a hold of your teammates, let me know so we can work on that together. Other than that, those are kind of the key things that I wanted to briefly address for you guys. If y'all have any other questions or any other topics that you'd like me to make a video on, please let me know and I'll do the best that I can to accommodate that. Other than that, have a good evening and I look forward to seeing what you guys post this week.